Hello and welcome to something a little bit different to what you're used to. We're going to be trying to play Rimworld, which is a game that I've recently bought and really got into, so why don't we give it a go? We're going to start a new colony. Crash landed. 3 crash landed survivors. The classic Rimworld experience. I think we'll go for that because that actually sounds quite enjoyable. Of course, we'll go for the default AI and we'll go with some challenge of permadeath because, you know, we're not pussies, but we're also not very good at the game. Go for next. Now, of course, this game seems to be one of the best ones I've played in a long time, but you can't have a good game without having a good world, so we need to create one, and of course, what better world name is there than Budget Builds? Now, do we want official or unofficial? I'm going to say official because people know that channel and people don't know about this one, so we'll go for that. Let's generate the world. It's generating. Just give it a minute. It might take its time. You never know how it goes. So, I'd imagine we have the world ahead of us. So, we have a lot of options here. We can either create our own colony from scratch. Well, that's the only option we've got. But do we want to choose where we're doing it, or do we want to go randomly? Now, I'm thinking we go randomly. Okay. This looks quite nice. This looks nice. Let's go for that. So, who do we have? Robert. Robert Hand. Nah, we want... Not what we want. We want... Oh my god. It's him. It's John. John Bon Jovi. John. John Bon Jovi. His middle name is Bon Jovi, the Optimist. And if that's not beautiful as it is to you, as it is to me, that's just... I don't know how to describe it. It's beautiful. Tori the Surgeon. Well, you know who this is. With all the political stuff going on in the world, it's Nicola. Not just any Nicola. Nicola Sturgeon. You know, that fine piece of ass. We're going to call her Nikki for short, because, you know, SNP or bust is what they're saying. Not really. No one really wants to vote SNP, and I highly doubt they'd ever want to. But finally, this looks to be... Well, I'll be damned if that isn't Punk Rod Stewart. Like, you know, Punk is Rod, Punk Stewart. I mean, but this is of course talking about he's 8 years old. It goes with the character. So let's get started. Let's generate the map and see how things go. Of course, let's wait for that to happen, and I'd imagine it wouldn't take too long. The three of you awaken Crypto Sleep Sargophagi. That just sounds like a retarded word. I'm not quite sure why they've chosen that. To the sound of sirens and ripping metal, you barely get to the escape pods before the ship is torn apart. Sometime later, you land on the unknown Rimworld. As pieces of the shredded starship fall around you, you start making plans to survive. That's a rather loud guitar noise. Okay, let's get them to like. Okay, step 1. Let's see. I didn't really look at their stats. Who's good with shooting? Bon Jovi, you get the nice gun. Punk Rod Stewart, you just like bashing people in the face. You can have a knife. And you're even better. In fact, you take the knife. Punk Rod. You're gonna have to go with the. Oh wait, that's upsetting. But yeah, let's harvest some of this iron and get some of this wood. Okay, let's see what have we got going around here. This map would appear to be really quite nice. If anything, I'd say it's the luck of Bon Jovi that's done this for us. You know, because well. He does a lot of things for us, doesn't he, Bon Jovi? He's no Freddie Mercury, but he tries. And he tries. And that's what makes it, really. Just a bit of trying by Bon Jovi. So yeah, let's get a little bit of a home base set up. Not home base the shop, though, because it'd be a bit retarded if we had a home base the shop. So I'm thinking they've already got a lot of stuff down there, but there's this half-finished structure down here. So if we get that, and get some power, because, you know, we're going to need some power set up sooner or later. Let's get some of these, and a battery, And then if we get some beds, because we don't want them sleeping on the floor. I mean, John Bon Jovi, although he's 60 now, I'm sure he's quite the hunk in bed. Although, I'm not exactly going to be held to that, because I don't really want to sleep with Bon Jovi. However, I do understand if you did want to sleep with Bon Jovi, because he is a very attractive man, even for a 60-something-year-old rock artist with wrinkles everywhere on his aging body. But that's why he was living on a prayer, really, wasn't he? I mean, Bon Jovi, he's here, he's working away, he's building a bed. He wasn't building a bed, he was just sweeping the floor, because, you know, he's just... Have we got no one that can build? Construction. Bon Jovi, come on. Oh... I'm gonna have to live with it. Bon Jovi, you're gonna have to put up with it. So, oh, of course, Punk Rod Stewart is the guy we need. He might be 80 years old and on the verge of death, but you know what he's got? He's got a feisty hand to fight things with, and a good hand for building beds, which is really what we need. So, people are saying this room is outdoors. Bon Jovi, don't do that. Okay, let's get some. I'm thinking we're gonna start needing some plants. So let's set up a few of these for planting, because we're gonna need like just some plants. I'm gonna get some. We want to get on drug production quickly, because you know we've got some heavy people. I mean, Nicola Sturgeon, she is a heavy hemp addict, and if we can grow hemp in this game, she will smoke through that like it's paper. So I'm gonna say we want that. We're definitely gonna need some cocaine. John Bon Jovi, he's going to be our cocaine master. So, potatoes. Yep, potatoes. Because, of course, we might actually get Bono to join the colony at some point. And we don't want another potato famine. I mean, you saw how that ended last time. A lot of angry Irish people. A few of them did die. Nope, no one's good at growing in the colony. But that's fine, that's fine. We can always just plant rice. That's what they say. If you can't plant heel root, plant rice, because you can always just shove rice in the wound. Because if someone gets shot, just put them in a bowl of rice. Done, just done for the week. So we'll also grow some corn and more potatoes, because you know what, potatoes are going to be something we're going to need a lot of, and that's not just me being insane. That is just fact. Oh, whoops. Okay, we've accidentally deleted our garden, which is not ideal, but still, it was only potatoes there anyway, because you know, potatoes, we're gonna need a lot of them. So let's get a standing lamp, because, well, you know what, we don't want them sleeping outside. So if we get this wooden door up, there we go. Okay, so what are the people saying in this room? It's mediocre. It's mediocre. It's not good, it's not bad. In fact, now they're saying it's decent. It's because that's going to be John Bon Jovi's bed. Actually, that one's awful, that one's poor, and personally, John Bon Jovi's done nothing for us, so really, this bed, you know, this bed's for, it's for Punk Rod Stewart. Because, no, he deserves it. So let's get some berries. There's a few berries scattered around. So let's harvest some of these, and we're going to want to expand out, because it's a good thing that we're building into the mountain, really. Because I've got a feeling we're going to be throwing some killer Bon Jovi concerts, and I mean some killer ones. Like we're talking John Bon Jovi before Richie Sambora left the band and well, left him with a horrible affliction. Probably, I don't know. Probably got the clap. Talking about that, did Bon Jovi ever get the clap? That's one thing I'd like to find out, because while he sleeps away in his own bed, he is an optimist. Is that his only talent? Oh, he's friendly with Punk Rod Stewart, so he's had a nice chat. Nicola Sturgeon, maybe. She's really just waiting for some old. I think she's holding out for Punk Rod Stewart, because you know he might be 80. He might be 80, but it's fine. And, well, clearly, Bon Jovi here is sucking the life out of his two colleagues. He's only 19. brackets 104 because he's getting old. He's aging. John Bon Jovi can't always be the young, handsome man he once was. And it's not my fault that happens. It's just a natural thing that it just tends to happen. You know, you get old. People start fancying John Bon Jovi instead of Punk Rod Stewart, and he's just left here working on the walls in the usual kind of way. And it's upsetting. It's upsetting for his family. It's upsetting for his fans because, you know, it's probably going to end up with, like, I don't know. He's going to get the clap one way or another. And he's got some ailments. Let's see. He's got cataracts. You know what cataracts are good for? Nothing. His eyes are working at 50% efficiency, so he can only really see half the world around him. So he like goes up to like John Bon Jovi's like, "Is that you? I miss you. You look like my grandkids." But he's nothing like that in reality. Of course, he is just a punk rocking Rod Stewart who just releases the same songs all the time. Because, you know, he's probably got dementia by this point, haven't you? So, he tries. He tries, and that's what makes my day, because he tries. And really, you don't get angry at a guy for trying, do you? You don't. That's like saying... It's exactly like saying... Oh, don't trust Nicola Sturgeon just because she's Scottish and has no good policies. That's not true. That's not the right way about life. You got to build a butchering table for your all the animals you're going to slaughter, and then you just got to go hunting around the map. You know, like look, there's a rat. Here's a rat we started to hunt earlier. Get some alpacas in on this. Bon Jovi, quick to the scene with his gun. Let's get that rabbit to be killed as well, because I think it'd benefit all of us if, you know, it was killed in a humane way. We're also going to want this to be a fridge. I've got a feeling I'm going to need refrigeration soon, and I don't think that battery's actually connected. No. Okay, let's deconstruct a bit of our old ship, because little unbeknownst to many, well, little unbeknownst, that's not even the right word, but not many people realise that we came here on a wooden boat. Yep, that's exactly our plotline to this is we were sailing, like the Rod Stewart song that he released, which literally is just the words, "We are sailing, we are sailing, we're sailing." Like, yep, we've got it, Rod, you're sailing, but it doesn't help me in any way. So, Chianti training. Let's get some obedience training in here, because, you know, I don't really know much about animals in this game, because I haven't really played it enough to understand what I can and cannot do. So let's get this power conduit connected, because I've got a feeling that we're actually going to need this kind of thing sooner more than later. So let's get some power in here, because well, it's making them a little bit depressed about their bedroom. There we go. They still think their room's awful, but not terribly awful. I'm hoping it's only just slightly awful, if you catch my meaning in that way. I'm just going to turn down the volume, because this actually sounds incredibly loud. Let's just turn that down a bit. That's a bit more pleasant. Actually, that's a bit too quiet. Let's just turn it up a bit. There we go. So, of course, John Bon Jovi taking about 10 shots at the largest animal on the map. But that's because he just wants to show how many bullets he has. Why would you not want to show off your prowess with the gun? So let's oh, we are a fueled stove. That's not what we want. We do not want a fueled stove. That's the wrong thing. Oh, we've messed up. Stage 1, and we've already messed up. I should have looked. Should have looked. We want an electric stove. There we go. That's a bit better. Bon Jovi, of course, still shooting at the same rabbit. Let's get someone on butchering animals, shall we? Because we're going to need some animals to, like, butcher. We have some visitors. We have... Okay, who have we got visiting us? We have Mal. Mal, you're good at construction. Medicine. Ooh. 0. You, my friend, are beautiful. Now, I think we want to try to entertain and recruit him, because he seems like a really good person that we want on our side. So, who's actually got good social skills? Well, who do you think it is? I mean, Punk Rod Stewart, you, my friend, have got a busy time befriending this glorious bastard. I mean, don't get me wrong, I think we have just made some of the best friends we'll get in this game for a long time. Of course, Bon Jovi just leaving the corpse of his latest kill. It took him a good... He shot out the right eye and his right leg. Jesus, John Bon Jovi, you are a ruthless killer. But I suppose that's what they're saying about him. He is a ruthless killer. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. So, what are people getting up to? I mean, they're sleeping. But it's Marker, isn't it? Marker. That's him, isn't it? Character. Yeah, Marker. Marker, you? She hates Nicola Sturgeon, but she loves... Wait, it's a bloke. He loves Punk Rod Stewart. We don't really care what you've got to trade, because we have, like, no money, so... Yeah, it's not a good time if you want to get cash from us. So yeah, let's we don't need to clear out any slate, really. We're doing okay. I mean, we've got power, we've got, oh, they're probably a bit annoyed about, people hiding all this. Who's good with cooking, then? Who's our chef? I mean, I'm not quite sure, because I didn't really look at our skills. I was mainly looking at their physical appearance, because call me shallow, but John Bon Jovi was not... He wasn't someone that's not meant to look as beautiful as this. So let's see, our cook is currently Nicola Sturgeon, which may sound heartless, but the woman's place is the kitchen, so let's get on with butchering, shall we? We're doing okay so far. I'm not quite sure who's on planting, but they've done an okay job. They've done okay. Nothing too major, nothing too bad. Just a generally okay job, I suppose. So while we wait this out, let's see. I reckon that music is still very loud. But it's not necessarily a bad thing, is it? I mean, of course it's not a bad thing. Ooh. A new recruit, Maker, has joined the colony. And there's a chief that's very angry, but oh well. Ah, a table. Good thought, my main man, because of course he's our go-to guy now. He's just the dude you want to see about anything. So let's get a stone cutter's table, because I've got a feeling that we're going to need that sooner more than later. And we can get that set up. Let's get some electric stove. Let's get some people cooking some simple meals. We want at least 20 of these on hand at all times. So, Maker. And then we want to, let's get rid of some of this granite. Because we want to fit a fridge in here, and we can't have all of this as just being like this. I mean, a fridge. It's just got to keep things cold. And John Bon Jovi's over here, he's having a whale of a time mining away, because it makes him think about the days when he could just look after the audience. Which unfortunately he's not doing at the moment, because he's actually, well, I imagine he's a fairly artistic guy. There's a mad animal. A local squirrel is going to kill John Bon Jovi. I'm assuming that is the mad one. How do I tell? Oh, there it is. Okay. Let's draft you in and get you to attack the squirrel as well. Okay. John Bon Jovi fights a squirrel. While Mr. Maker. This is Mr. Maker here. Mr. Maker's going to move in. Stab it in the back. Good job, guys. I never thought I'd say this, but John Bon Jovi and Mr. Maker do make a killer hunting team. It's something that's never been seen before, but CBeebies could really benefit if they started teaching proper hunting skills on the channel. Something that hasn't been done regularly enough. Because I just feel like if you start teaching 5-year-olds how to hunt, you just get such a better society, because they'll be out, they'll be looking after hedgehogs, and if the hedgehog dies, well, they know how to skin it. They know how to turn it into a sausage or a burger. That's fine. It's really just what they're looking for. So I'm not angry at that. If anything, I'm happy that they've done that. But they're still not very happy with how that's turning out. So let's get some people on. What kind of blocks do we have lying around? We have a lot of slate. Let's get some people making slate, because that seems to be quite a sturdy material. Let's do that forever. Let's get Mr. Maker himself on slate cutting. Actually, before we do any of that, Mr. Maker, you do not have a bed. Mr. Maker, don't do that. Make yourself a bed, man. You've got nowhere to sleep. That could have been tragic. It's a good thing that we have our eyes out for him, because, well, as another day draws to a close, I see the beginning of a colony really starting to take shape. It's sort of beautiful, really. It's just beautiful in every way. So, John Bon Jovi mines away. Is he actually any good at mining? Because as a person, John Bon Jovi doesn't seem to be very good at many things. But mining! It's those wide shoulders. You know where he's been crowd diving? That's given him just those wide shoulders he needs to bury away at that. And it's helping him amazingly. So, where are you, Mr. Maker? He's disappeared, but don't worry, he will be back, and he is back. He's heading up to get some more slate, even though there is kind of just a massive amount there. But it's fine, he's getting some kip. He just wants a bit of sleep. So, as another day draws to a close, we'll wait to see what happens in the colony. Thank you very much for watching this episode of Rimworld. Good night!